Hey y'all, what's going on? So happy to be here on this President's Day. I hope everybody. Ooh, ooh. Okay, let's do this again, y'all. Please forgive me. This is the pilot episode that I'm doing. Just to jump into it, my name is Brianna Jenkins, but on here, you can call me Aeon. I go by AeonEsq on Instagram and other social media platforms. And I just want to have a platform where I talk about all of the things that I'm interested in, all of the things that uh, are happening in the world, just to talk about it, to process it my way. Just to give a brief background about who I am, if you don't know me, Brianna Jenkins, attorney, thought leader, policy advocate, lover of pop culture and entertainment, and so many other things. And I really want to create a space where I can kind of let all of those things mesh and come together and just really talk about the latest topics as they come up. I plan to have this as sort of a daily midday show so we can just talk about things and I can give an analysis from my particular perspective and we could just have fun. We can debate. We can really work through some tough things, but also work through some fun things because I am somebody that lives a multi issue life. And so many things impact me at the same time. So it's just important just to create a space and create community where we can talk through these things together. And I am happy to go on this journey with you all as I build this platform from scratch. I have experience doing podcasting in the past. I have experience being a personality on YouTube many moons ago. And this is kind of my return to this platform, my return to this arena, also doing it on my own. But I think it's time, I think it's necessary, and I'm here. I'm also learning how to work this particular platform. I'm familiar with StreamYard, but a lot of things have changed since I've last been on here. So please bear with me as we just go through this and we just learn this and we really build this community from scratch. So let me see. But I really like this because I'm able to just do different things with this platform and we can do it in real time and everything does not need to be perfect. Let me see. Child, I would like to share my screen. And I want to talk about the Epstein files because this has been on my spirit and it's really been burning me up, y'all. So let me see how to work this because yes. Okay. So let's get into it. Let's talk about the Epstein files. Everybody, if you haven't been aware, I'm going to call this lady back. I love you, sis, but I'm doing my show right now. I'm going to call this lady back. But I wanted to get into and have a quick conversation about the Epstein files. This is something that has been dominating the airwaves for the past couple of months. And really, for me, the perspective that I want to take is for me, this whole thing, and it's not just this particular scandal alone. It's this in conjunction with Diddy, R. Kelly, um, Weinstein. His first name is escaping my brain. This is just really showing me how once we as a society we don't prioritize children. We don't care about children. That will become relevant later. I'll bring the point home. But we really don't care about children, and we really don't care about victims of sexual assault. And this whole thing has really shown me how we have structures set in place where where everything is set up to protect abusers. We have a culture, especially here in the United States, where it's more incentivized to protect the abusers instead of creating safe spaces for those who have been victimized, and creating spaces to empower those who have been victimized. And this Epstein library, particularly how the DOJ under Pam Bondi's leadership has been working overtime to not release certain files, or to release files that have been heavily redacted, really cements to me how we have a culture of protecting predators, protecting abusers, and really how we as a society need to work through, and I'm pretty sure people are doing this already, but we really need to work through creating some type of ways where we can talk about sexual abuse and sexual harm, especially with young people, as they are growing up and going into this world where there are a lot of people that could harm them, and it's a high likelihood of it happening. And looking at the justice system as a way to be made whole, it's just not enough anymore. So I just it's just been a mess. And let's just go to the story. So the latest round of the Epstein files has effectively ended the careers of some of the world's most powerful figures, from captains of industry to prominent attorneys. And why does this matter? Over the weekend, the Justice Department released their quote unquote final rounds of Epstein files, excuse me. Um, I put quotation marks on final and or all, because we just don't know. And as an institution, under this current regime, under this current leadership, like we just have to question everything. Okay. So let's look particularly at how in the United States, how it has impacted folks. We have, who's this? Brad Karp, who was the chairman of top corporate law firm Paul Weiss, resigned after his emails were revealed in the Epstein files. Paul Weiss is a very well-known big law firm. I'm familiar with that law firm. Kathy Rummler, who was the top counsel at Goldman Sachs, resigned after her emails with Epstein surfaced showing their close relationship and her downplaying his sex crimes. Great. We don't need to be protecting abusers, even if it's women. Casey Wasserman, a high-profile Hollywood talent agent who chairs the Los Angeles 28 Olympic Committee, said he would sell his agency after his Epstein ties were disclosed. Excuse me, y'all. Okay. Casey had some high-profile clients, including pop star Chappell Brown. Excuse me, y'all. I'm on the tail end of a sinus infection, but I gotta let it out. We gotta let it out. Okay, Cassie Wasserman, Peter, what is this? Atia? Excuse me, y'all. A longevity. Oh Lord, excuse me. Let me drink some tea. Peter Atidia, or Atitia. I know I'm saying that wrong, but who cares? You were linked to Jeffrey Epstein, so who cares how I'm pronouncing your name? A longevity influencer stepped down as chief science officer of David Protein. Okay. Okay, so it's looking like there's some pretty prominent people in the US who have stepped down. And then there is a lot of because this wasn't just a national ring. This was an international ring that Jeffrey Epstein ran. Peter Mandelson, Morgan McSweeney, Jack Lang. Okay, so it looks like a lot of people uh, uh, have either stepped down from their high and powerful roles. Um, it looks like somebody in England is charged with aggravated corruption following a police probe. Okay, so it looks like some people are starting to face consequences due to their connections to Jeffrey Epstein and just the ring that he ran. And I just feel like, particularly on the U.S. side, there needs to be more, and then more than that, there needs to be. Let me unshare the screen. Is that coming down? Okay. Okay. So it looks to me, yeah, it just seems like at least on the Department of Justice side, from my vantage point, it seems like Pam Bondi and her administration are still holding back, because even though the quote unquote all of the files were released, a lot of them are redacted. A lot of people are still being protected. And then going back to what I said before, we just have a culture, especially here in the States, of protecting abusers, both on a personal level, but also on a systemic level. Um, I would like for everybody to be exposed, because just in my personal life, I just like to know who I am dealing with. I like to see the reality of people, and I just think that we need to know. Do I think the survivors will get their day of court per se, or will a guilty conviction? Clearly, we can't get a conviction from Jeffrey Epstein, because he's deceased. He's no longer here. But as somebody, and just think about this through like a restorative justice framework. What does justice look like for survivors of these crimes? Do does the system of people that have helped Jeffrey Epstein, should they be punished? Should they be removed from their positions of power, where they're able to get money and they're able to continue either harming, or they're able to continue to live in denial? I hope well, I'm not going to say I hope that this is a pen, because I'm pretty sure there are more. There's more crimes of this nature being committed like this on large levels and on small levels. But I really hope that this exposes the systems that allow these perpetrators to get away with it, because it's never just one person. It is a system of people that are committed to allowing people to engage in these actions, and it's a system of people that allow people to cover things up. And that's why it's so important for these names to be unearthed and addressed, because Jeffrey Epstein didn't do this alone. Diddy did not do this alone. R. Kelly did not do this alone. Bill Cosby did not do this alone. So the names need to be uncovered, so that we can expose the system, and so that we can take the system down. Because it's never just in my experience and just in my lived experience, it's never just about one person engaging in the act. And we just have to start looking at this on a systemic level. And also, we have to call a thing a thing. Y'all don't care about kids, especially if y'all have the access and the opportunity to have sexual contact with them. Y'all don't care about protecting the safety of kids and preventing kids from harms. And this is just the one way that shows that shows how a lot of children in the Jeffrey Epstein instance, particularly young white girls, were not protected. So I just hope that this gets us closer to leaving the lie that, or to getting away from the fallacy that the things that people empower that they're doing, that they're in the best interest of children, because they're not, because y'all don't care about the best interest of children. But I want to leave that story there, and I'm going to move on to the next thing that I want to talk about, Mr. Hakeem Jeffries. So let me see okay, yes. And I'm gonna see if I can play this. Also, let me know. This is the pilot. This is just day one, but I do want to scale up. But let me know how my voice is sounding. Do I need to invest in the microphone? Just let me know if you can hear me clearly. But the goal is to scale up. But this is where we at. This is where we starting from. Okay. So let me see. Oh, child, I'm just everywhere. Let's take this off the stage. Let's bring this up. Okay. No, not this one. Stop. Okay, y'all. Let's get this party rolling. Okay. Let's do this. Okay. So Hakeem, shout out to Here's Why Kevin on Instagram. Love his platform. So before we get into this, as somebody that has been voting, I think the first election that I voted in, what did I vote for? A term. Ooh, child, I gotta think back. Okay, let's take it back. The first presidential, let's make it easier. The first presidential election that I voted in was, I think, to elect Obama in 2008. I'm somebody that I am a Democrat. I guess I was raised as a Democrat. I've always voted Democrat. And that's just what it is. However, in the past, I want to say, I guess since since Trump won, I have had issues with the Democratic Party, just because I feel like the Democratic Party, there are a lot of, systemically, the Democratic Party is very soft conservative, right of center, if you ask my particular opinion. And I just feel like there is definitely a faction of progressives in the Democratic Party, but that's not representative of the Democratic Party as a whole. And also I feel like a lot of I feel like a lot of people in the Democratic Party have been able to use identity politics as a way to absolve them from other aspects of their platforms or other aspects of their personality that are not progressive, and that are really trying to hold on to access to money and power. And particularly, it's come to a head really in this last election, how the Democratic Party as a whole really dropped the ball when it came time to responding to the attacks against trans people, to responding to the attacks against trans youth, and remaining silent about that. And that really led me to have a what's the term, like a crisis of conscience, just to really assess, like, is this the party for me? If when, and granted, I'm more things than I'm trans, and also this is not a space where I solely want to focus on my transness or trans issues, but those things will come up because they are a part of my life. But just to know that a party, one, didn't say anything about that, and then two, a lot of them drank the Kool-Aid of the GOP when a lot of money was pumped into anti-trans messaging on those ads, to know that there was no strategy, there was nothing to say, and also to know that there were a lot of problems inside the Democratic House. I had a couple of moments where it's just like I went on the path: am I a Democrat? Is this a party for me? I damn sure I know that I'm not a Republican. I know that, but where can I go as a voter, as somebody that is committed to voting, as somebody that, like, I just don't ever see me not voting in an election. But but it's also about walking this delicate balance, because for me, I'm just speaking as an individual, I know that every candidate is just not going to pass a purity test. To me, that's just not realistic. I like to deal in realism, and I don't feel like every candidate is going to pass a purity test, so to speak. But I want candidates that are going to take the risk. I want candidates that are going to try something new. And I just feel like in 2026 and 2028, just having somebody, especially a Democrat, just having somebody that, if you're just expecting me to vote for you based on your identity as an ex slip in whatever identity, for me, that's not enough. I need to know what your platform is. I need to know what you're going to do after the election is over. And one of the easiest ways to tell that for me is to look at who you are accepting money from. So I think that gets us into the story and what I want to talk about, particularly. Okay, so here's why, Kevin. I'm sorry I kind of jumped all over the place, but I just wanted to set the tone so y'all can really understand where I'm coming from. So child, I thought I put this on I thought I put this on airplane mode. Why are the children calling me? I'll call them later. Y'all, back to the story. So here's why Kevin reported. Hakeem Jeffries was asked by Majaha Ali on the Joy Reid show if he would stop accepting AIPAC donations, because the PAC regularly oppresses Democrats, on top of the fact that the Israel Gaza issue has driven away Democratic voters. Jeffrey said he would not be making changes to how he fundraises. Let me see if there is a video.
Money from AIPAC. I'm going to continue to raise money in the same way that I've been raising it. AIPAC now has spent $2 million attacking a moderate-leaning Democrat, Tom Malinowski, a Democrat, in the special House election in New Jersey 11th District. And we got a progressive Latina, Representative Mejia, who won, who, by the way, says abolish ICE. My question for you, if you're looking for accountability, if you're looking for change, shouldn't Democrats stop taking money from AIPAC that has spent so much money against Democrats?
Well, listen, everyone's going to have to make their individual decisions. That's what I'm going to do as House Democratic leader. Now, in terms of how people individually fundraise, I'm proud of the fact that my average contribution amongst the millions of dollars that I've been working hard to raise for my own reelection, that I use to help elect Democrats in other parts of the country, is $27 per.
That's a quick follow-up. So that means, will you stop taking money from AIPAC?
I'm going to continue to raise money in the same way that I've been raising it.
AIPAC now has spent $2 million attacking a moderate-leaning Democrat, Tom Malinowski, a Democrat, in the special House election in New Jersey 11th District, and we got a progressive Latina, Representative Mejia, who won, who, by the way, says abolish ICE. My question for you, if you're looking for accountability, if you're looking for change, shouldn't Democrats stop taking money from AIPAC that has spent so much money against Democrats?
Well, listen, everyone's going to have to make their individual decisions. That's what I'm going to do as House Democratic leader. Now, in terms of how people individually fundraise, I'm proud of the fact that my average contribution.
Okay, I didn't realize that I watched this twice. Okay, so yeah, y'all. This is I can't. It's just the defiance for me, the refusal to actually speak to the heart of the issues. And you don't have to know much about AIPAC. I don't know much about AIPAC, but I think the basic things that you need to know is that AIPAC associate when we talk about the Palestine genocide and just their role in that, and really coming after candidates, particularly Black candidates who lost their seats in the last elections because they were very outspoken about saying stop the genocide, and were very outspoken for their advocacy of Palestine, and how AIPAC played a part in really killing their chances of getting reelected. To me, it's the outright defiance from Hakeem Jeffries, the refusal to directly engage with the just a basic question, just talking in circles instead of speaking to the heart of. I would have respected. Yes, I accepted money from AIPAC, and I'm not going to stop accepting money from. I could respect that, but it's the disingenuousness, and this is not just with Hakeem Jeffries. This is with a lot of people in the Democratic Party, particularly people that have been in their positions for years that haven't been challenged, and particularly for marginalized folks. So there's another person who I want to name, but she's not in the news yet. So you get to skate by today. You get to skate by today, but if you come up in the news, honey, you will be on the docket. But I just think it's time for a shift in the Democratic Party, and just being Democratic, just being blue, it's just not enough. And now we have a track record of in real time of all of the actions that you took that shows that you were against the people that you claim to serve. Not when we were in the government shutdown towards the end of last year, and we needed all of the Democrats to hold the line, even though it was an inconvenience for people, particularly when it came when I believe the main contention point during the last shutdown was health insurance, making sure that health insurance premiums didn't go up and medication and stuff didn't go up. And we just needed all Democrats, all hands on deck to hold the line. And people showed their hand, and people are continuing to show their hand. And when you are directly pressing people and they're saying no, that I'm not going to do, we really need a change of the guard in the Democratic Party, especially again, I don't peg myself as somebody that is I'm very new into my political awareness, but I do know that what has worked in the past, it can't work anymore, and we desperately need something new. As somebody that has personally been impacted by not only the first Trump administration, but more deeply the second Trump administration, we need solutions. We need people who are in these positions of power, who are elected to these positions of power to take bigger risks, to take bigger swings, and to take them in lockstep with the community that are asking them to do something new, and to not and to be actually be beholden to the people that they represent, and not beholden to these PACs or these corporations with these deep pockets that are really just trying to influence the process so that they continue to get their way, but continue to like oppress and exploit us. So I really wanted to talk about that today. I really wanted to get into that today. I want to do one more story before I get out of here. Let me step off camera real quick. I'll be right back. Okay, we back. We is back. Let me stop this. And let's go to the last story for today before I get up off of here. Ciao. Let me know if y'all can see that. Excuse me. Yes. Okay. So I believe today on Netflix, the America's Next Top Model documentary is coming out. I definitely will be watching that today. And when I come back tomorrow at noon, I definitely want to talk about it and talk about some of my highlights from the documentary in depth. I am a child of America's Next Top Model. The show debuted while I was still in high school, and I believe the show was at its peak when it debuted, and I feel like it was a gradual decline over time. But I'm definitely America's Next Top Model baby. If you go back at pictures of me during that era, you will definitely see the broken poses and all of that shit. Excuse me, all of that stuff on there. But I was obsessed with the show, was obsessed with Eva, particularly that season 2. That season 2 was that girl. I believe that was with like Eva and Yaya and Takara and Ziomara. Fun fact, when I first got up in them and I was thinking of a name, one of my names was going to be Ziomara, which I think that would have been fab. But according to my mentors, particularly when I was in law school, they said it would have been very hard to market a Ziomara Jenkins. So everything is not meant to be, but a girl has to have dreams. Let a girl dream. But I was definitely influenced by that show. But it has been interesting as we look back at retrospective, and also as we know more and as we are aware more, we are able to look back on these things with a critical eye. Also, shout out to Oliver Twix, who really did a lot of the forework by doing one-on-one interviews with the former contestants. But somebody from that show that was very near and dear to me was Miss J, who was the runway coach who eventually became one of the judges on the show for a period of time, who's also featured in this documentary. And it looks like Miss J made a revelation. So let's take a listen to what this revelation is. I'm gonna refresh the page and let's go.
I taught Mars how to walk, and now I can't walk. Not yet. Not yet. I'm determined to walk. I'm sure you're going to see me again, I'm sure. Is that all for me yet?
Did Tara come and visit you?
No, not yet. She just sent me a text. She wants to come and visit me. But no, not yet. The person who taught Miles how to.
Woo! Okay, y'all. Ooh. Ooh. Okay, I saw the headlines, I saw the stroke, but I did not I did not watch the clip. I did. First of all, big ups to Miss J. I hope that you have a speedy and a healthy recovery. I look forward to watching this documentary just to know more about your story and where you are now. You were, especially for me as a Black queer little boy during that time, you were definitely a possibility model, somebody that I looked up to, somebody that I saw bits and pieces of myself in, and to see, you know, where you are now, it's just really emotional for me. Also, as somebody that has went through my own health struggles, particularly my physical health struggles, you really get to see who is there for you or who values your friendship during the times where you are at your lowest. So I hope to get more context on the relationship and to learn why Tyra wasn't there. I'm hoping that there's a story. I hope she like really addresses that. But yeah, that is really sad to me. I know Miss J was living abroad in either France or the UK or in Europe, but has been living abroad for many years. So I hope Miss J is getting the care that he needs. But y'all, strokes are very serious. I just had somebody, a very close family member, pass away recently whose life was complicated by multiple strokes. So I know how devastating a stroke could be. Also, this is just a reminder, sometimes strokes can be hereditary, but strokes, just for a medical minute, can also be brought on by, you know, high blood pressure, high blood sugar, all of that other stuff. It's why I have to monitor and watch my health. So if you can do any preventative things, if you have access to health insurance, I know how important that is. I currently don't have access to medical insurance right now. Let's hope that that's temporary, but anything that we can do temporarily, oh no, not temporarily, anything that we can do to as a preventive means to prevent strokes and to do all of that, I encourage everybody to do that. That is advice that I'm trying to take for myself, especially as I am aging and just growing as a person, just to make sure I stay on top of that. But big ups to Miss J. Wishing you a speedy recovery. Hope that you are well and that you are cared for and you have a group of people around you. Also, when I come back tomorrow, so that brings us to the end of the show. So yay. So the intention with this show is just to do a just daily show to just I don't want to do all of the stories, but I really want to do the stories that just speak to me and something that that I have to say. And also I really want to, this is my return to YouTube. I really want to work on building a new community here where we can all talk to each other and really just learn from one another and just have fun, y'all. And just have fun, laugh, get serious, cry, as I was about to cry with the Miss J story. But baby, Aeon is back. I'm not going anywhere. I'm here to reclaim my things, to come back and get my things. And I just want to have fun with y'all. I want to grow with y'all. I want to learn with y'all. I am here in Houston for the meantime. My plan is to stay here. We'll see, but in the meantime, y'all will see me tomorrow. We're going to talk about that Tyra documentary. And we're going to talk about some other stories that come up. It might be slow today since it's President's Day, but you never know. The world is on fire and we don't know how much longer we got. So it might be a couple more juicy stories. So y'all will see me here tomorrow. Please make sure that you subscribe to my YouTube channel, AeonEsq. Make sure that you are following me on Instagram, AeonEsq at Instagram. If you want to donate and support, so as we grow, so we can scale up, you can send me a gift here on YouTube, or you can send me a Cash App, $BAJ Law. All of that information will be in the notes for this video. And I will see y'all tomorrow. Thank you for watching the pilot episode of AeonEsq Live. I will talk to y'all tomorrow. Bye.